Today, we are going to dive into a crazy simulation, raising the Bloop as a pet. I am not talking about keeping it in a glass tank for a few days, but the entire journey of nurturing it from a tiny creature that fits perfectly in the palm of my hand until it transforms into the giant deep-sea monster of legends. Just look at this baby Bloop. So small, yet somehow balancing between adorable and spine-chilling. It bears the hallmark traits of its kind, a gaping mouth, needle-like teeth, and pale skin. Even though it just drifts aimlessly with its mouth open waiting for prey, its anatomy suggests it was born to swallow things much larger than itself. However, if the myths are true, this little sprout will soon become a terrifying hunting machine. To prepare for that, I had to immediately solve 3 problems: finding the ideal habitat, figuring out a menu for that massive mouth, and calculating its growth rate before I completely lost control. As a first step, I set up the safest possible environment, a cold saltwater tank with a high-end filtration system to simulate the ocean's abyss. But the moment it entered the water, the Bloop revealed its abnormalities. It didn't swim like regular fish. Instead, it hovered like a ghost, turning slowly and locking on to any movement, including my hand. When I dropped in some plankton and tiny shrimp for its first meal, its hunting method was truly bizarre. Rather than chasing its prey, the Bloop remained perfectly still, waiting for the food to drift close before suddenly unhinging its jaw into a giant round tunnel, vacuuming everything up like a black hole. The darker the tank became, the more energetic it got. While eating, its body emitted a deep, low thumping pulse. That wasn't the sound of a growing baby fish learning to eat. It was the growl of a beast practicing for the hunt. Just a month later, a crisis hit. The Bloop's size had quadrupled, making the glass tank far too cramped and fragile. I was forced to use an emergency solution, moving it to a massive saltwater swimming pool. Its transformation was astounding. From a creature I could hold in my hand, it now glided through the pool like an absolute lord of the water. Its body had thickened, the folds on its sides were more pronounced, and that vacuum-like mouth looked even more horrifying as it scaled up. But its size wasn't even the worst part, its stomach was. Tiny shrimp were completely useless now. The Bloop required heavy-duty meals, whole fish, giant slabs of tuna, large swordfish chunks, and even small sharks. Its consumption rate turned feeding time from a pet care routine into something resembling a construction site logistics operation, requiring actual heavy machinery just to transport the bait. Every time food hit the water, the Bloop turned the pool into a terrifying, tooth-filled drain, silently but ruthlessly sucking everything in. The pool wasn't solving the problem, it was merely delaying a catastrophe. The Bloop's growth rate was unstoppable. Powerful swimming created massive water displacement, the cost of food skyrocketed, and the machinery required to maintain the illusion of containment exceeded all imagination. There was only one option left before transporting it became physically impossible. Using heavy-duty cranes, steel cables, and industrial equipment, we hoisted the Bloop out of the pool. After all the effort to keep it by my side, I had to do the inevitable, release it back into the open ocean. The exact second the Bloop touched the open water, human control officially ended. There were no more glass tanks, no more swimming pools, and no more feeding schedules. The ocean took over, and the Bloop evolved into the exact nightmare it was always destined to be. Tracking it from a helicopter, I realized its adult size defied all logic. Its colossal, pale body stretched beneath the waves, and that once small circular mouth was now capable of swallowing gigantic prey whole. It didn't just survive out there, it completely dominated. The Bloop tore through schools of marine life, attacked whales, and shattered every ecosystem in its path. That deep, low pulse from its youth was now powerful enough to capsize ships unfortunate enough to cross its territory. The ocean literally churned and shifted before it even surfaced. When the Bloop was small, I had the illusion that I could manage it with enough care, planning, and equipment upgrades. But the reality is that human solutions only work until nature stretches its limbs and breaks them. Now, the tiny creature I once held is wandering the deepest trenches, eating whatever it wants, going wherever it pleases, becoming something far grander and far more terrifying than the word pet could ever describe. If you enjoyed this crazy sea monster simulation, make sure to hit subscribe for more. See you next time.